Hello everybody, Jeskai fans, Jeskai friends, friends of YouTube, everybody's friends, many friends. We're back, round 5. This is the deck tech in round 1. Let's get going. So, on a string of a bunch of bad leagues lately for moi, can I pull out a 5-0? Not a bad start. I like Geist hands. I like Geist hands that have removal spells. Let's keep this one. Hallowed Fountain into Serum Visions finds us. Another good card to have with Geist and the land to cast it. So we're going to put both of these on top in order of put Cryptic Command and then that island. Pass turn back. Obviously, Geist is always much better when you're on the play. What does the opponent do? Interesting. Blood Crypt. Could be some kind of hand. Oh no, it's the Burning Inquiry deck with hollow ones. He's probably going to put 4 hollow ones into play right now. It's going to be terrible. Oh man. He's actually like mana screwing us. He made us discard 2 lands. Okay, well that stinks. Leave up the bolt, cast the Serum Visions. Let's see if we can fix the damage that was done here. These are probably going to have to go to the bottom. I'd be surprised if we do anything else. Bottom, yep. Looking for lands since he made us discard them. He discarded some lands as well. Let's see what happens to our opponent here. Just thinking, can you imagine how ridiculous this card would be if it didn't say 3 cards at random? Because like they would be able to just like dump a bunch of Bloodghasts, or it would just be like a better Faithless Looting. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Because that's not what the card does. Collective Brutality. Alright, well, have your way with us. Discard Lightning Helix. Choose to bolt him. I feel like his small creatures like Bloodghasts are resilient in that, you know, the bolt's not going to actually keep them dead, and then bolt doesn't kill his bigger creatures anyway. So alright, well, third land is cool. We have some options available to us now. If he doesn't have a very productive turn, we can snap bolt. We can probably, the best thing would be to spell queller his attempts to get some more things online, like a if he plays that draw 4 discard 3 or whatever it is, goblin something or other. That would be a great spell queller target. Even if one thing to consider is, even if he doesn't like if we ever had to put since Restoration Angel is in our deck, one kind of cool thing is you can't just play a naked spell queller and then bounce it with Restoration Angel later to trigger the effect. Collective Brutality again. What does he discard? Discards a Bloodghast. He's going to gain 2, discard 2. That feels like a good target for spell quellering. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then his Bloodghasts come back, but they don't have haste because we're not below 10 life. 10 or below. He gets to Brutality us anyway. Gets rid of our Crypt Command, but we have Restoration Angel. And we also have a Helix in the yard. So he's going to deal 4 a turn with these 2 guys. We're going to deal 3 a turn. But we have this Lightning Helix. So let's see how things play out. The other thing to keep in mind is we're not going to probably win this game if this Restoration Angel dies. So as nice as it would have been to block one of these Bloodghasts, that also opens us up to potentially dying just to or to having our Restoration Angel die to a Bolt, and I wasn't willing to take that risk. So I put the Snapcaster Mage into play instead of the Restoration Angel. I'm trying to remember what my thought process was at the time. I think just to... It's a pretty big life swing. You know, we gain 3, then he's going to take ultimately 5. Also, I guess I get to see if it sniffs out a Bolt. But we're going to go and put the Restoration Angel into play in response to this Burning Inquiry. We could have... So he did have the Bolt, by the way. So had we blocked the Bloodghast, we would have lost our Restoration Angel. So we play Restoration Angel. Burning Inquiry happens. He attacks. I clicked the wrong button again. We put in Restoration Angel. He kills the little dude. Burning Inquiry happens. The little dude with Snapcaster Mage. We discard everything we drew with Burning Inquiry, which looks like it was probably Serum Visions and Land. And we just draw those cards and keep the Spell Queller, which is nice. And so now, like any spell that he could probably draw to save him from death, we'll probably be able to get Spell Quellered. I mean, if he happens to have a removal spell, we can Spell Queller it. If he happens to have, you know, I don't know how many hollow ones are left in his deck. If he happens to have another, like, one of these draw discards, then he'll obviously end up only with 1 card in hand, but we can just Spell Queller it. And he just concedes. I don't know what he drew, but... So, kind of nice to win a game with Restoration Angel. It's been a while. See you guys for game 2. Okay, so how did I board for this? I don't really remember. Yeah, Settle the Wreckage seems like it could be really great. I could have brought in Celestial Purge, but I remember thinking, well, you know, am I really going to like fight all of his Bloodghasts and Flamewake Phoenixes and this stuff? Maybe it's still right to bring it in. I probably would. It looks like I boarded out. Looks like I brought in the Blade Splicers, thinking that it's possible the Golem tokens will be good blockers against the small creatures. Went for more of a controlling game plan, it looks like. Brought in the Wormcoil Engine, brought in the Kuranos, brought in the Settle the Wreckage, brought in the Is It Staticaster for the Bloodghasts, and boarded out some burn. Let's see what exactly did here. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I took out 8 cards and I brought in 2 Blade Splicers, Settle the Wreckage, Kuranos, Wormcoil Engine, what am I forgetting? Relic of Progenitus, and I think another card. Unless I can't remember if my main deck has a click and my sideboard has a click. Oh, it looks like I brought in a negate. I'll fix that later. Pretty sure it was a negate for things like Burning Inquiries or whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this game 2 started. I was going to start off with a Burning Inquiry, discarding Flamewake Phoenix, getting a hollow one. That's kind of unfortunate. Next turn he's going to be able to activate Flamewake Phoenix, so hopefully we can find a way to kill this hollow one. Or else we'll be pretty super dead. We do. Draw a Path to Exile. Probably going to have to cast that. Let's do it at his upkeep. Damn it, I hit that button again. He played a Goblin Lore, which is draw 4, discard 3 at random, so he discarded Tassiger, Thoughtseize, and a Street Wraith. Okay, so we should probably... We could play this... Well, let's just see what I do. Alright, so what I decided to do is just hold up this Logic Knot probably for another, like one of his degenerate spells or something that's going to help him cast a bunch of hollow ones or just wreck our hand. Looks like I'm going to counter this. Probably should just let it resolve. Also, and I've mentioned this a few times in this league, and this time I just forgot, but I just want to reiterate. When you have Settle the Wreckage, when you bring it in, you really need to... Like, I should have just got a Hallowed Fountain here. Even though I take the extra damage, you do want to make sure that you really prioritize getting your double white into play, because you don't have enough. You need to prioritize it. You're not just going to always have double white. I'm kind of wondering, though, why did I counter this? Maybe it was just to conceal information, maybe about the Spell Queller, something like that. Kind of thinking here that what I should have done is maybe just Serum Visions, because I'm going to have to kill this probably. This is actually a pretty good play too. If he doesn't have a... Yeah, he doesn't have another way to... He doesn't have another Faceless Looting to flash back, and depending upon what his last card is, we might be able to just chump either of these creatures with our Spell Queller. So I'm pretty fine with that. +1 is the biggest it can get, so this looks like a pretty clear chump to me. Not even chump, because it's just good block. Because like he could have a Street Wraith here and make this have +1, but I don't think he can. Probably should have blocked. I think I was just living in too much fear of somehow this blowing up in my face. Because now if he has a way to pump, yeah, definitely. I think I should have blocked. I should really be casting the Serum Visions. I'm making a bit of a mistake here. Alright, so I'm deciding to attack. I guess I feel like Bolt, Snap, Bolt, plus this Queller and Snap are enough to get it done. The game does feel like it is in our favor at the moment. Maybe I'm also just not casting the Spell Queller because I feel like I don't need to. I mean, the Serum Visions. Oh, you know what? I just remembered how this game played out. Um, I don't want to reveal it, but I kept wondering if he had a bolt. My guess was that he had a lightning bolt, and I debated this for a while. So, because I'm so basically, here's what happens. I'm like, okay, so if I bolt him down to 11, snap bolt him down to 8, and then attack him to 4, then cast the Serum Visions, I'll be able to like find an answer. But that line doesn't immediately win the game. I don't know why. I honestly don't know like why. Like I remember when I made this play, I was like, this is probably the wrong decision. I'm like really sure it's the wrong decision, but it was like one of these where I was like, I'll do it anyway. I don't know why I decided to do this. Because I very easily just could have killed this. I could have killed this, and then he just has a Bloodghast, and I still have the Serum Visions for card selection. I don't know what I was thinking, because he had the bolt. You can see it right here. It's just silly. So now, like if he has the bolt, my whole line falls apart, and it's still not even a good line anyway because he can block with this Flamewake Phoenix like my Snapcaster Mage. It's not like this bolt snap bolt got him dead this turn. So I don't know what the heck why I did this. I just don't. It's just I don't know. The reason I'm having so much trouble explaining it is because I don't know why I did this to the extent that I even thought I shouldn't do it at the time. I guess I just wanted to try something. I don't know. Keep forgetting about this double white, right? So even though I've made some really stupid mistakes, finally, boom. Gonna lose the game because I picked a really dumb line that I can't explain and that I knew I shouldn't pick, but I just did it because I'm being retarded. Like, honestly, I remember thinking, I was like, well, if he has a bolt, this is really bad, and even if he doesn't have a bolt, it still doesn't seem right. I could probably just kill that Flamewake Phoenix and then kill that Flameblade Adept, and then I'd have 4 power, and he'd have a Bloodghast, and the Bloodghast can't block, but I'll just try it and see what happens. Maybe he won't have the bolt, and I'll get lucky. It's just a stupid play. Really stupid. And then I just keep forgetting about the Settle the Wreckage, even though I've been really diligent about it. And so had I had gotten double white at any point during this game, I could have probably, well, I think I could have won this match or won this game earlier by just playing my spells in a smarter way. And then had I got double white, I might have been able to erase this silly mistake. Exiled all of his creatures and maybe just got there with Snapcaster Mage. But instead I got to put all these cards on the bottom. I think the replay kind of screwed up right here at the very end. But basically, what exactly looks like happened. I attacked him to 5. He attacked me to 2. I didn't draw a burn spell or what have you. No, I remember. I attacked him to 5. He cast Faithless Looting, made this thing really big and killed me. It was 1, 2. It was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he attacked me for exact. So didn't even attack with the Snapcaster Mage. I guess I could have tried to buy another turn, but I think after this I felt a little like salty and was like, whatever, I'll just throw the game away. I already threw it away once, something like that. Anyway, see you for round game 3. So checking here, it looks like I made a minor sideboard tweak, and if maybe I didn't. If Kronos was in last time, he's not in this time. But I think maybe he wasn't in last time. It was just that Wormcoil Engine. So let's see how this game goes. This hand, I'm assuming I mulligan this. I kept this. That seems a little bit not the greatest. I guess it's okay. I mean, I guess I can just like shock and probably find when I need to. Has a lot of selection. Okay, so that's kind of cool. If we can survive till turn 4, which seems reasonable, actually Settle the Wreckage could be really great. So probably go top with the Wormcoil Engine. Probably actually, what we should probably do is go top with Settle the Wreckage to protect it, and then top with the Wormcoil Engine. Let's see what I did. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Wormcoil on top. Okay, so pass turn back. Opponent casts a Faithless Looting. Looks like discards a Flame Blade, Adept, and a Blood Crypt. And wow, turn 1, 8 power. Okay. That's going to be hard. So I'm choosing to sit on the logic not... I think if I don't cast Serum Visions, that's definitely a mistake. Yeah, that's a mistake. I need to Serum Visions to try and find a path to exile for any of this stuff. This thing that's going to come into play. One of these. That's not smart. Should have cast Serum Visions for sure. Like, didn't play perfectly in the other rounds, but kind of just suddenly playing like crap in round 5 and likely throwing away the 5-0 potential as a result. Chooses not to activate. I'm sorry, you know what? I got this confused. Flameblade Adept is not. I'm getting that confused with the one that they can bring back. But either way, I absolutely should have cast the Serum Visions to look for a path to exile. And I'm still sitting on this Logicnaut. That makes no damn sense. This Logicnaut is not going to... Basically, we're just dead to a bolt as soon as we do anything. Like, the Logicnaut's not gonna... It's not gonna get rid of the 8 power on the battlefield. Ugh. I'm like annoyed at myself watching my own play at this moment. Alright, so we managed to survive with 2 life. Managed to also not discard the Settle the Wreckage because of luck. And managed to die to a bolt. This game didn't have to be lost. Oh. Why did I do this to myself? I could have 5-0'd this league and I 4-1'd because of just sudden like crap play. But anyway, I hope that at the very least you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Can't really explain myself in this last round. That was pretty terrible. Anyway, yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the games. Now that the league is over, let me talk about the deck. Okay, so things that I would change. I would cut the Blade Splicers to start, and the reason is, as much as I like flickering Blade Splicer with Restoration Angel, if you're bringing them in for the most popular aggressive matchup, and in that matchup they're just copying it, I don't know that it's good enough. I guess in theory, you know, yes, they can copy it, but if you have, say, a removal spell for the Blade Splicer itself, then, you know, you're making your Golem token much better. But being that she's also a human, it's technically a 2-for-1. It just doesn't. I don't think it's good enough. Like, I think you'd have to do a lot of thinking to decide. Okay, well, it's still good enough because of X, Y, and Z. But I can certainly say, well, it's not as good as I was hoping it can be. And my gut says, yeah, if they're able to make copies of it, that just feels like it could somehow, even though they can trade with each other. I don't think, you know, my thinking is, even if they could make copies of it, you kill the Blade Splicer, the cards themselves trade with one another. In the times when they're not copying it, it should be pretty good, but I feel like it's probably not good enough. If they weren't able to copy it, I think it's probably definitely good enough. But I think I'm going to cut the Blade Splicers. Couple other thoughts, and this is just in general. So I've played some other leagues with this. I'm tired of not having a way to kill Search for Azcanta. And I want to run a Field of Ruin in this deck. Maybe even 2. And I think one way to do it is, I think I could cut a Colonnade. I think you could cut a Hollowed Fountain. The only problem with cutting Hollowed Fountain is it does make it a little more awkward with Settle the Wreckage. You could probably even, just to start, I think probably trim an island. Before you cut a dual land, I think you cut a basic land. So, I mean, it obviously is a little bit worse from a Blood Moon standpoint, but it's already pretty hard to get like all 3 islands and plains in Blood Moon situation. I mean, it can happen, but I think that's where I want to start. You could also cut a mountain, and that might be a little bit more correct. Like, I really like the mountain against burn decks. Let me try that for now, actually. I do really like the mountain. I also like the mountain when people are trying to Field of Ruin your red sources. So, I mean, it's hard to say. There's going to be compromises. You know, bringing in a card like Field of Ruin, you have to take one of your better lands out. I'm going to try the mountain. I'm just, let's try that this time. But I want to get at least 1 Field of Ruin in, and I kind of want to get 2. Okay, so what else would I cut? Can I cut a Hollowed Fountain? Then to get white, 1, 2, 3, 4. Field of Ruin, I guess, kind of gets a white, but let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 white sources. It's probably enough to have like white by turn 2. I wonder if it would be better to just do this. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I want to. It's also kind of greedy because of the lightning helixes, but I want. You know, the deck used to run a couple of Ghost Quarters and a couple of Tech Edges in the past. It was really nice to just be able to have like a land that kills other lands. And for a long time, I've hated the fact that I don't. I don't hate it, but it comes up. And right now with Search for Azcanta, I really want a way to kill it, and I don't have the sideboard space to devote. You know, I tried the Molten Rains, but I feel like I can't give away 2 cards just because it kills Search for Azcanta. I tested Molten Rains, and they're just not good enough against Tron or Valakut. They're fine against, your mid-range decks, but I'll have to. You know what I'm gonna do on this land stuff? I'm gonna sit and actually think about it a bit longer before I make a decision. Off the cuff, what we used to do, I can say this. What we used to do in the old Geist decks was basically this. When we ran 2 Ghost Quarters, it was like this. There was 1 Hollowed Fountain in the deck. I could also just cut a Sulfur Falls maybe and keep the Hollowed Fountain. That might be the right thing to do. But you do want double red a lot for things like Bolt, Snap, Bolt, and Bolts and Helixes. But this is what we did back in the day, so I'm gonna look at those numbers and see how those work out. I already cut the Blade Splicers. The other card that I really don't want to cut, but is this Restoration Angel. And some of my and I don't think it happened in this league, but I don't know. Maybe her time really is over. Um, I've got my Restoration Angel Fatal pushed a lot, and it feels really... Like, the nice thing is, against some decks, it used to be pretty resilient because it couldn't be Abrupt Decayed, it couldn't be Bolted. It was really just Path or Maelstrom Pulse that they had to deal with it, or Terminate, but they didn't run as many Terminates, and you could also Spell Snare Terminate. And they also had to invest 2 mana at the same time. So if they left themselves like with 1 mana open, you could Restoration Angel and then even on tap with the counter. And now it just seems so easy for them to trigger Revolt and Fatal Push it. I like having at least 1 Restoration Angel in the deck, I think. I'm not sure what I would replace it with. Maybe just put the other Electrolyze back in and just do something like this. Could also keep the 3 Geists in. And one thing I like about having 2 clicks on the board, and I'm not saying I'm going to do this, is just that in the decks where you want to be flash-based and you don't want the Geists, taking the Geist out and bringing 2 clicks in is pretty nice. I think Keranos was great. Keranos was really good. I played another league where Wormcoil Engine was absolutely outstanding. But I'm still... I haven't played Wormcoil Engine in enough places to know how I feel about it long term. I'd like to get a second Relic of Progenitus in there. I don't know how I'm going to fit it. I'd like to get another counter spell, but for now I'm happy with this Disdainful Stroke Negate Counterflux option. If I was going to run another counter, maybe a Ceremonious Rejection, but I think what this might actually need to be, maybe I wanted to get another Wear Tear or an Abrade. Maybe another Engineered Explosives, because I'm also thinking about Lantern. I haven't been playing Lantern against... I have not played against Lantern much, but it's something I want to be cognizant of. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the list, but I will say that I am going to cut the Blade Splicers, and I might trim one of the Restoration Angels. I've also had Restoration Angel be really sweet. It could have been in the Elves match actually later, and I don't remember because that replay bugged out. But I know in at least one of my leagues I had 2 Restoration Angels, and I blinked the same Snapcaster Mage twice to buy back removal spells, which felt really awesome, and I miss doing that. Anyway, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to just sit and ramble. I don't have a lot of solid answers yet, but if I record another league for next week, maybe I'll have some better answers for you guys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys soon. Bye for now.